the NBA Finals begin June 5th on ABC.
In Kansas, you'll find as many experiences as stars in the sky. A fresh landscape dotted with destinations for everyone, no matter what you're looking for. From riveting new adventures to reliving the past, you'll find a wide-open world of possibilities. Find your new favorite view exploring a wondrous state. Take a stellar trip to the stars.
Welcome home, welcome home. This life will be so beautiful. Welcome home, welcome home.
Your morning forecast with Jessica Blum at 5, 6, and 11 a.m.
Tonight, chaos in the sky. An allegedly unruly passenger zip-tied after trying to open a cabin door mid-flight. A major interstate shut down for hours during the busy holiday travel rush. And the American arrested for allegedly trying to attack a U.S. embassy in Israel. First, an international flight bound for Houston was diverted to Seattle after a passenger tried to open an emergency door mid-flight. He was restrained with zip ties by fellow passengers and workers. This is millions of Americans are on the move for the long Memorial Day weekend. The severe weather and heavy rain puts a damper on some holiday celebrations. Our weather team is standing by with the forecast. The dramatic rescue of 9 people after their sailboat capsized in the San Francisco Bay, and the warning to beachgoers about staying safe in dangerous waters. A 28-year-old American man arrested for allegedly attempting to bomb a U.S. embassy building. The suspect seen here in this Facebook photo, what authorities say they discovered in his backpack. The GOP braces for a tough budget battle, and what's at stake for millions of Americans and their health care. And the chilling new details, an alleged kidnapping here in New York City. Police say the abduction and torture of an Italian tourist was part of a twisted scheme to get his Bitcoin password. How the victim managed to escape after several weeks. Also tonight, the nation marks the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder by a Minneapolis police officer. This is some activists say they are facing a backlash from the Trump administration, and Floyd's family speaks out tonight. Stunning images of a propane tank explosion in the back of a box truck. What caused the blast? And the battle for the Memorial Day box office record. Who came out on top between Lilo and Stitch or Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? And America Strong tonight, a heartwarming reunion as we honor those who serve.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. As we come on the air tonight, a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Oklahoma, Alabama, and Tennessee. But we do begin with chaos in the skies as a passenger allegedly attempted to open an emergency exit mid-flight. Authorities say the international flight was traveling from Tokyo to Houston and diverted to Seattle. Passengers and crew members used zip ties to restrain the man. He was taken into custody in Seattle and evaluated at a hospital. In Florida, a propane tank explosion is to blame for a traffic nightmare, shutting down a major interstate for several hours. All this during the height of the holiday travel rush. And weather is also causing some headaches for travelers. Strong winds and hail battering parts of the plains and into the south. Our weather team is standing by with the forecast, but ABC's Morgan Norwood leads us off tonight with the holiday travel hiccups.
Tonight, chaos in the sky. Passengers wrestling an unruly man who authorities say tried to open the plane doors mid-flight. The flight from Tokyo to Houston diverted to Seattle. Passengers and crew using a zip tie to restrain the passenger. Ashley Bradley recording the whole ordeal. Thankful others stepped in to help. The airline, All Nippon Airways, confirming the incident and saying a second passenger became unruly while on the tarmac in Seattle and that both were removed from the flight by Port of Seattle police. The harrowing incident comes during the height of the Memorial Day weekend travel rush. The TSA is screening more than 3 million passengers on Friday, making it the 3rd busiest travel day ever.
It's definitely a very busy airport. This is crazy.
In Newark, passengers met with more than 300 delays to start the weekend. The airport seeing a slight improvement after weeks of disruptions from runway construction, aging technology, and the ongoing air traffic controller shortage. And for those hoping to avoid the lines at the airport, an expected 39.4 million are hitting the roads, where long waits stack up on major highways.
It's really, really bad. It's awful.
It's bananas on the roads.
This tanker fire on Interstate 595 in Florida, bringing traffic to a standstill early today. And out west, thousands of visitors expected this holiday weekend at Lake Havasu. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Office ramping up staffing as rescuers race to this boat fire, battling the flames as those high winds threaten to spread the fire to other vessels. No one injured in that blaze.
And on the roads, expect peak traffic tomorrow. Experts say the best time to leave is before 2 p.m. But as for that plane incident, Lindsay, authorities say the man was taken to the hospital after they found he had some sort of medical episode. That plane did go on to Houston as planned. Lindsay?
Morgan, thank you. Now to the tornado and severe thunderstorm watch for the plains and parts of the south. Let's bring in WABC meteorologist Danny Beckstrom from our New York station, WABC. Hi, Danny. Give us a sense of where the greatest risk is tonight.
Tonight, it's the southern plains and the southeast, Lindsay, where both damaging wind gusts and tornadoes are both significant concerns. Right now, a tornado watch in effect in parts of Texas and Oklahoma until 11 p.m. local time, with the severe thunderstorm watches expanding from eastern Oklahoma to northern Georgia. Wind gusts over 70 miles per hour and large hail can both cause damage, and flash flooding remains an ongoing issue, with an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain expected between now and Monday night in an area already saturated, making roads dangerous for those heading home from the holiday. The severe threat focuses on Texas tomorrow, but it looks like a stormy Memorial Day for much of the south. Lindsay?
Could be a messy Monday. All right, Danny, thank you. Now to the arrest of a U.S. citizen for allegedly attempting to bomb an American embassy. Let's bring in ABC's Alex Pache in Washington. Good evening, Alex. Give us a sense of what you're learning.
Hey, Lindsay. The FBI arrested Joseph Neumeyer, a dual U.S. and German citizen, at JFK Airport in New York today. The 28-year-old is accused of attempting to firebomb the U.S. Embassy field office in Tel Aviv. Authorities say that Neumeyer, seen here on Facebook, walked up to that office earlier this month and allegedly spat on an embassy guard before ditching his backpack and running away. Inside, authorities say they found 3 Molotov cocktails, later disarmed by Israeli National Police. Neumeyer was arrested and deported to face charges in the U.S. A newly unsealed criminal complaint says a subsequent investigation found a Facebook page with hate-filled posts, including this one from the day of the alleged attack that says, "Join me as I burn down the embassy in Tel Aviv. Death to America, death to Americans." And Lindsay, tonight he faces a number of charges that could land him in prison for the next 20 years. Lindsay.
Alex, thank you. Next tonight, cities across the country are marking the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's death. His final words, "I can't breathe," became a rallying cry for the nation. But some now say they're facing backlash from the Trump administration. What Floyd's family is saying tonight. Here's ABC's Zareen Shah.
Tonight, 5 years since the death of George Floyd. A moment igniting a unifying movement for racial injustice and police reform in America in the middle of a global pandemic. In Minneapolis, where it began, the community gathering at George Floyd Square, the site of his tragic death, for a candlelight vigil. Attorney Ben Crump, who represented the Floyd family, attended a street festival celebrating change and resilience.
What we want our children to know is that we stood up for George Floyd to get justice, Breonna Taylor to get justice, Ahmaud Arbery to get justice in Georgia. We stood up.
In Houston this week, his daughter Gianna sharing her life's purpose.
Helping the world come together as black and white, and it just helps us come all together and be nice to each other.
They reflected on Floyd's murder by fired officer Derek Chauvin, who knelt on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, as Floyd repeatedly said, "I can't breathe."
It sparked the person to want to get up and be an activist and be more of an advocate.
But recent developments raising concerns for that movement. D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser ordering Black Lives Matter Plaza to be paved over in March. Activists seeing the removal as erasure of a racial justice symbol. And deaths at the hand of police officers, many of which are deemed justifiable, have been climbing since 2020, according to the project Mapping Police Violence. President Trump saying officers are unfairly targeted and reforms may make it challenging to keep communities safe. The DOJ moved to abandon police reform agreements in Minneapolis and Louisville and investigations of other local police departments. Minneapolis' mayor pushing back.
Minneapolis is serious about our commitment to police reform, even if the President of the United States is not.
Minneapolis' police chief says recruiting police officers 5 years later is still a struggle, and George Floyd's death is still an open wound. But he says meaningful change is possible without the help of the federal government. Lindsay.
Zareen Shah for us tonight. Thank you. Overseas now to Russia, launching a large-scale assault in Ukraine, a barrage of drones and missiles targeting dozens of cities. President Zelensky is denouncing the silence from the U.S. after the attacks. It comes amid a historic prisoner swap between the two countries. ABC's Marcus Moore has the latest.
Tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemning the, quote, silence of America after a second consecutive night of Russian airstrikes targeting 30 cities across the country. This latest offensive, the largest since Russia invaded Ukraine more than 3 years ago, involved nearly 400 ballistic missiles and drones. Ukrainian officials say killing at least 18 people and wounding dozens more. This woman thankful her daughter declined an invitation to escape her apartment in Kyiv and stay with them, saying, and thank God she didn't come, because the rocket hit on the side where the children's rooms were. These attacks come amid the conclusion of a historic prisoner swap between the two countries. Both sides agreeing to exchange 1,000 captives each. But despite that cooperation, airstrikes have only seemed to intensify. Zelensky calling for new sanctions and additional pressure on Russia to agree to a ceasefire, writing on social media, silence of America, silence of others around the world only encourage Putin. Without truly strong pressure on the Russian leadership, this brutality cannot be stopped. But Trump's NATO ambassador now saying the president, who campaigned on a promise to end the conflict on day one of his second term, wants a ceasefire, but he's still trying to determine whether both sides are serious about making a deal.
It's going to have to be a diplomatic, negotiated resolution. And so, you know, I think we all need to pray for peace this weekend and just hope that there is a way that this war can end.
And Lindsay, neither the White House nor the State Department responded to requests for comment from ABC News. But with every additional attack, the path to peace feels further and further away. Lindsay.
So many praying for it. Nonetheless, Marcus, thank you. Back here in the U.S., the GOP is bracing for a tough budget battle. The House passed President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill last week. Now it heads to the Senate. Let's bring in ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang. Hi, Selena. Give us a sense of what's the latest.
Well, Lindsay, President Trump's mega bill barely passed the House, and it faces a tough road ahead in the Senate, with one Senate Republican today saying that there's enough opposition to stop the process. Now, the House bill extends Trump's tax cuts, ends taxes on tips, and slashes spending for food stamps and Medicaid, which could leave millions of Americans without health insurance. Now, some Senate Republicans want even steeper spending cuts, while others are concerned about those changes to Medicaid, Lindsay.
And Selena, you mentioned these cuts could leave millions without health insurance. How's the administration squaring that with President Trump's plans to spend millions on an upcoming parade on his birthday?
Well, Lindsay, the White House says this is a special chance to honor the heroes who keep our country safe. But Democrats are slamming the administration for spending money on that massive military parade while making deep cuts to critical programs. Now, the Army says it plans to spend up to $45 million, but the final tally is expected to be much higher. Right now, it is expected to include thousands of soldiers, tanks, armored vehicles, helicopters, and even horses. All of this, Lindsay, is to commemorate the Army's 250th anniversary on June 14th, which also happens to fall on President Trump's birthday. Lindsay.
Selena Wang from the White House. Thank you. Now to the chilling details of an alleged kidnapping here in New York. Police say the alleged abduction and torture of an Italian tourist was part of a twisted scheme to get his Bitcoin password. And tonight, police are now searching for an alleged accomplice. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt underway for another suspect in what police say was a horrific case of torture at a lavish Manhattan townhome. Police looking for the alleged accomplice of crypto businessman John Waltz, who's accused of holding a man hostage for weeks, beating him, shocking him with electrical wires, and dangling him off a ledge. And officials say it was all part of a twisted scheme to get his Bitcoin password. Police say the alleged victim told them he arrived in New York from Italy on May 6th and went to the suspect's home where he says Woltz took his passport and threatened his life until he was able to escape Friday morning, running out of the Soho apartment to a traffic officer for help. Police arresting Woltz, who was barefoot in a bathrobe as they handcuffed him.
I saw like a sort of SWAT team going with the shields. And then shortly after that, I saw a guy in a white robe in handcuffs come out.
Investigators say they recovered bags of evidence, including a saw, chicken wire, body armor, ammunition, and Polaroid photos of the 28-year-old alleged victim with a gun pointed to his head. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News they're looking into whether the Italian man was hired for sex work, if the suspect turned him into a sex slave, and if the two may have known each other from the crypto world. Woltz facing a judge in Manhattan criminal court on charges of kidnapping, assault, and unlawful imprisonment. He's now being held without bail and will be back in court on Wednesday. We reached out to Woltz's lawyer, who said no comment.
Now, Woltz was ordered to surrender his passport, with prosecutors saying they're worried he could try to make a run for it on his helicopter or private jet. Lindsay?
Rena, thank you. Tonight, a warning for those out in the water after San Francisco first responders rescued 9 people from a capsized sailboat on Saturday. The Coast Guard and firefighters racing to rescue the group from a 30-foot sailing vessel. They were participating in a master's race when the rudder failed and the vessel capsized. We'll be right back.
You know what you don't see in psoriasis commercials? The thousands of real people who go undiagnosed. People whose psoriasis can look very different depending on their skin tone. As the makers of Tremfya, we understand that everybody's moderate to severe plaque psoriasis doesn't look the same. So we undertook a first-of-its-kind study of plaque psoriasis in every skin tone. Like hers, and his, and yours.
Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Tremfya.
Lumify? It's kind of amazing. Wow. My go-to is Lumify eye drops.
Lumify dramatically reduces redness.
In 1 minute.
And look at the difference.
My eyes look brighter and whiter.
For up to 8 hours.
Lumify really works. See for yourself.
High heat, wet hair, aka the Straightener Sizzle. OGX Weightless Repair Mist for non-stop damage protection. OGX.
Allergies got you trying every trick? Grab Zyrtec for total relief. It works fast and lasts a full 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Go Z's the day with Zyrtec.
Just back is sore. Let's go! Ice. Hard. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy hot, just so back.
Next tonight, a big blast in a Chicago suburb. Home security video shows a rental truck explosion yesterday in Addison, Illinois. Police are calling it an accident, blaming a leaky propane tank. The driver suffered minor injuries. Penske, the owner of the truck, is cooperating with investigators, saying customers are not allowed to transport hazardous items. When we come back, cute, fluffy, and killing it at the box office, Lilo and Stitch's record weekend.
A diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. You charged ahead. So why would life with ATTRCM define you? You have the power of choice. Attruby is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTRCM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. People taking Attruby saw an impact on health-related quality of life and were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues, giving you more chances to do what you love with who you love. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Attruby is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
Neutrogena Ultra Sheer with Helioplex protection absorbs so well, it's easy to forget you're wearing it.
Did I put sunscreen on?
You did.
Wait, did I?
You did.
Yes, you did.
Sunscreen you can't feel.
Don't let congestion take over. After No Trip. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief.
Wow.
The wow is real.
When investing leads to questions, JP Morgan Wealth Management has powerful tools, research from expert analysts, and a single view of your banking and investing accounts right in the Chase mobile app. When you want to take control of your financial future, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better. So this is better. And this. Dupixent's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It's not for sudden breathing problems. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, brown or dark-colored urine, tingling or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
To the Index now, a big holiday movie weekend led by a little blue alien. The live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch is on track for the best ever Memorial Day weekend opening. The film from ABC's parent company Disney earned a whopping $145 million in second to the other big blockbuster Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, raking in $63 million. When we come back, an emotional moment in Hawaii that was a long time coming.
Known for sharing what you love. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 18 types of cancer, including certain early-stage cancers. One of those cancers is triple-negative breast cancer. Keytruda may be used with chemotherapy medicines as treatment before surgery and then continued alone after surgery when you have early-stage breast cancer and are at high risk of it coming back.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain or weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, lupus, or myasthenia gravis, or Guillain-Barré syndrome, an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, or receive chest radiation. Keytruda can harm your unborn baby.
Keytruda is an immunotherapy and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials, exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true, Keytruda. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
Don't let congestion take over. After No Trip. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief.
Wow.
The wow is real.
When you see what it's really like when our skin touches wool, you see why we need Downy. Adding Downy to your wash not only makes your clothes feel softer on your skin, it breathes life into your laundry.
What? Wow. Tuesday and Wednesday.
We started with 9 players. Now who will be our final 4?
They're going to say you forgot I was here.
Daily double.
Why not? All of it.
2 nights of Jeopardy Masters. Tuesday and Wednesday at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Finally tonight, a Memorial Day to remember for a young girl and her military dad. It was a big day for these students at Herf Elementary School in Boerne, Texas last week. On their way to first grade after graduating from kindergarten. A bit bittersweet for 6-year-old Lorelei Howard, who's been missing her dad all year. Her father, Staff Sergeant Darius Howard, has been deployed since June on a combat mission in the Middle East. And she thought he was still overseas, missing her big day. But little did she know.
She has no idea I'm here, and it's been super hard for me to be able to not run across town and say, Daddy's here, and be able to scoop her up and hold her.
Lorelei Howard. When her name was called to go up, they played this video message from her dad.
I am super excited. I am so glad that you are able to accomplish everything that you do.
And then this 6-year-old received the surprise of her life. Lorelei jumping into her dad's arms. An embrace nearly a year in the making.
It's been a long time coming. Very long time coming.
Those smiles say it all. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lindsay Davis in New York. Great night.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, the most watched newscast in America, and honored with the Emmy Award, winner for Outstanding Live News Program. More Americans watch World News Tonight with David Muir than any other newscast.
At GMA, we're about to show one family how to save $350 a month on their groceries. So, how'd they do it? Could it work for you? Good Morning America.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5:30.
Breaking now, the Husker baseball team brings home the Big Ten title. Nebraska fans fired up after a phenomenal run in the conference tournament, and this video sent into our Now local news app from the game today. And now the team celebrating back-to-back titles. But for the softball team tonight, a bittersweet end to a great season as they fall just short of the College World Series. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Johnson. Some mixed emotions today for Husker Nation as the softball team loses in a close game in Knoxville. But it was a triumphant shutout victory in Omaha for Nebraska baseball. Channel 8's Jake Coleman joins us live at Charles Schwab Field. Jake, the stands looked packed today.
Yes, they were, Mackenzie, and still pretty packed crowd here celebrating this team's Big Ten Tournament Championship win, marking it back-to-back years for the Huskers. What a miraculous turnaround season it was for this team, and they're not done yet as they are officially, with this win, advancing into the NCAA tournament. So tomorrow we'll have a lot to look forward to for the selection show. But right now, talking about this team in this game, this was an incredible performance by the Huskers. A 5-0 dominant win. Ty Horn got the start. He pitched 8 shutout innings in this one. Just an incredible performance. He had nearly 120 pitches, 3 hits allowed, 6 Ks. Just what an incredible day for this team. So resilient. This team able to pull off this victory over UCLA for that Big Ten tournament championship win. And right now, the team's still actually on the field, obviously doing their post-game celebrations, photos, and interviews, of course. We'll have plenty of that more ahead to come here in our sports zone. But switching things over, gears to our softball team, as you mentioned, it was a close call today for the Huskers as they fall just short 1-0 versus Tennessee in that Super Regional game number 3. And let's take a look at how some things played out. For that 3rd game in a row, the Huskers, the pitching matchup was Jordy Ball versus Carlin Pickens. It was a pitching duel. The Volunteers, though, homered in the first to go up 1-0, and that ended up being all the runs they needed. Nebraska was shut out Sunday in Knoxville, only getting 2 hits on the afternoon, and Ball finished with 6 innings on the mound, 4 Ks, and 1 earned run. The Huskers' chance at making the College World Series will have to wait at least 1 more season as they fall short in this Game 3 Super Regional. And again, just recapping the Huskers season, it was a remarkable one, if that, by the Big Red, and a year they can definitely hang their hats proudly on as they head back to Lincoln. But we've got so much more coming your way. I'll be chatting with the team here shortly. Of course, we'll have the highlights we can show you, of course, coming up in our sports zone for the baseball action here. But for now, reporting live here at Charles Schwab Field, Jake Cohen, Channel 8 Sports.
All right, an exciting moment. Thank you, Jake. Developing now, 1 person is behind bars and 2 others are hospitalized after a rollover crash last night. Police closing down a big stretch of O Street while the crash was under investigation. It happened around 10:30 last night at 27th and O. This shocking video from the scene shared with us by LNK Scanner. LPD says 30-year-old Nicholas Jones was driving a red pickup truck recklessly. You can see it right there, turned on its side. According to police, the investigation shows that Jones lost control of the pickup, hitting the median and rolling. The truck then crashing into a Ford Mustang. The driver of that Mustang was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and a passenger was taken with minor injuries. Jones was arrested for felony DUI, and LPD says he had a blood alcohol content of 0.122. This afternoon, another crash on 27th Street, but this one near Garfield. 2 cars colliding there around 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the extensive damage left behind in this video sent into our Now Local News app by citizen journalist Brian. Police say 3 people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, unfortunately, not much sun out there on this Sunday evening. Here's a live look toward the state capitol building from our Allo camera tonight. Some interesting looking clouds out there. We got some good rain overnight and yesterday. Let's go ahead and check in now with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins to see what's in store for the rest of our long weekend. Rusty?
Oh yeah, everybody gets tomorrow off too. I have to work tomorrow. We're going to see, we dodged the rain today, which was nice because a lot of outdoor plans today. A little on the breezy side though. I did try to grill out earlier this afternoon and it was a little windy and chilly out there. But a lot of cloud cover and some rain out there in northwestern Nebraska, moving through Cherry County, Sheridan County, into Dawes County. But the rest of the state dry, just cool. And this is what it looks like on our Allocam. Some cumulus clouds mixed in with some low-level clouds, 21st and L Street. Just kind of a gray day, but you know, temperatures not bad. 68 degrees, 66 in Beatrice, 61 in Grand Island, but much cooler the further west and northwest you go. Bit of an east breeze at 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we head through tonight, temperatures will eventually drop through the 60s into the 50s with a north wind at 10 to 20 and then calming down to around 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll talk more about the rest of the weekend forecast in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Rusty. Right now, numerous events taking place to mark 5 years since the death of George Floyd. This anniversary comes as activists who had hoped the worldwide protests following his murder would lead to police reforms are now facing pushback from the Trump administration. Reverend Al Sharpton today saying police reform and justice for the George Floyds of the world will not be trumped. Here's ABC's Rena Roy with the story.
On this 5th anniversary of his death, events in Minneapolis centering around George Floyd Square, the intersection where then police officer Derek Chauvin kneeled on Floyd's neck for 9.5 minutes.
That knee on George Floyd's neck was like the knee on Black America's neck.
Family and friends of Floyd gathering at his gravesite near Houston on Sunday for a memorial service.
And when I say George, you say Floyd. George.
Floyd.
George.
Floyd.
Thank you, my uncle changed the world.
Nationwide, anger over the deaths of black people in police custody had been simmering when the world saw the video of Floyd's murder. In February that same year, Ahmaud Arbery was killed in what was considered a racially motivated hate crime. And in March, Breonna Taylor was shot and killed as Louisville Metro Police entered her home.
Ahmaud Arbery, he was the charcoal. Breonna Taylor, she was the lighter fluid. And George was the flame that set this world on fire.
His death sparking worldwide protests. The 3rd precinct where Chauvin was assigned set on fire.
It was a level of rage and energy I've never experienced in my life and probably never will experience again.
The former Minneapolis police chief says there are things he would have done differently.
I would have pushed harder and sooner at trying to dismantle some of the toxic culture that allowed that indifference to exist.
The Trump administration moved last week to cancel settlements with Minneapolis and Louisville that called for an overhaul of their police departments following the deaths of Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Trump was president when George Floyd happened, and he didn't do anything then. We made things happen, and we're going to make them happen again.
During the Biden administration, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2021 was passed along party lines in the House, but ultimately failed in the Senate when negotiations collapsed. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We have new developments now in Russia and Ukraine's prisoner swap, with Russia launching yet another massive drone attack. This is the 2nd night in a row the country has launched these aerial attacks. Ukraine says at least 11 people were killed in the strikes overnight and more than 40 people injured. Here you can see firefighters and other first responders searching through rubble in Kyiv following the strikes. Russia also targeting a city in southern Ukraine. This came on the heels of a massive barrage on targets across Ukraine the night before, which killed at least 13 people. Russia, meanwhile, says it shot down dozens of Ukrainian drones, which targeted its territory and injured several people. Coming up after the break, a beautiful reminder of sacrifice. While many take advantage of an extra day off of work, others are using the time to remember those who died for our country. Hear from a local veteran when we come back.
When stories unfold fast, Channel 8 is on your side. We go beyond the breaking headline with updates that matter. From our newsroom to your neighborhood, we bring you the facts first. Our team moves fast, digs deeper, and stays with a story long after the first alert. Because breaking news deserves more than a passing glance. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska now. Every play, every highlight, KLKN brings you the action, bringing you closer to the excitement, one game at a time.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has continued to be your trusted, locally owned and operated plumbing and HVAC professionals for over 100 years because of you, our loyal customers.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, Lincoln.
Whether it's through your plumbing or heating and air needs or giving back to the community like sponsoring Lincoln Youth Football and the Capital Humane Society, we look forward to continuing the tradition of our family serving your family.
Thank you, Lincoln.
It's Ernie's and Soresco's incredible Memorial Day sale. Our Memorial Day sale is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Ernie's and Soresco's Memorial Day sale. Huge inventory of in-stock and on-sale items, home furnishings for every room, marked down, and the lowest priced mattresses in Nebraska, plus up to 72 months special financing. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one. Ernie's and Soresco's and Ernie's Mattress First's Memorial Day sale. Going on now.
At Pemberley Place Senior Living here in Lincoln, compassion is the heart and soul of what we do. Enjoy days filled with activity, good friends, delicious food, and personalized care. Visit PemberleyPlace.com, an MJ Senior Living community.
ABC's seamless steel gutters are larger and stronger than traditional gutters, carrying away 33% more water from your home and handling even the heaviest rains. Stay dry, look great with ABC seamless gutters. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
Developing now, police investigating some scary situations that happened in the past 24 hours. Lincoln police finding a man with a stab wound to the shoulder last night around 8:30. Officers investigating the scene near 10th and South Streets, but the victim telling police he had walked there after the stabbing took place a few blocks north. No arrests have been made at this time, and anyone with information is asked to call police. Then, just a couple of hours later, around 10:45, police responding to a report of shots fired near 31st and R Streets. They spoke to people living in the area who say they heard a disturbance and then multiple gunshots. Officers finding 5 casings, and they believe someone fired from a vehicle as they were driving away from that area. No damage or injuries have been reported. New tonight, honoring sacrifice and celebrating service. This Memorial Day, veterans across Lincoln are gathering to remember. Memorial Day weekend is more than just the unofficial start of summer. From cleaning graves to distributing poppies, families and veterans are coming together to pay tribute to those who have sacrificed their lives for our country. Channel 8's Emma Norwood joins us live after speaking with one veteran about the meaning of this weekend. Emma?
Yeah, Mackenzie, veteran Mike Kuntz tells me people from all over come out to participate in the many festivities to honor those who served. And this poppy right here is one of the many items that is used as a symbol for the VFW for the soldiers who have given their lives. Many groups across the capital city are coming together to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Cleaning graves, placing buddy poppies, hosting ceremonies, and many more events, all to celebrate the true meaning behind Memorial Day. A member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 131, Mike Kuntz, tells me this weekend is definitely a time for celebration.
It really is a time to celebrate, so it is great that people do enjoy it, spend time with their families, get out and enjoy the nice weather. We live in such a great country, but it was something that people fought for, people died for. We really hope people do enjoy the weekend. Just doing so in a way that honors and remembers those that fought so hard to make sure that we can enjoy it.
In preparation for the weekend, Kuntz says they clean off several grave sites to keep even the oldest fallen soldiers' memories alive.
Just going back and remembering those who maybe won't have somebody, family member that may not be caring for that grave this weekend. We want to make sure that it still gets the attention that it deserves. And then also, as more and more people come to visit the cemeteries and visit the memorial gardens, we just want to make sure that it's shown in the best possible way. So a lot of groups participate in that, which is good. It helps remind the young folks or people that maybe aren't veterans themselves, just remember what the real reason for the weekend is.
And a tradition that dates back to the early 1900s is handing out those buddy poppies in honor of those who served.
Reason for handing them out is just to make sure that people do remember them and have a good way to honor their family and their friends they've lost. But also, we use that to collect money to help the veterans locally in need that maybe can't afford food or rent or have a situation in life that they need some assistance. So.
And Kuntz says they go to almost every cemetery to place these poppies and salute soldiers during this holiday weekend. For now, reporting live in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
After some rainfall yesterday, clouds today, still on the chilly side. That's going to continue for the next couple of days. We'll take a look at a chilly Memorial Day forecast when we come back.
Don't you know you can save money on gas by paying with your My Phillips 66 app?
That's not all, CJ. You can also give back to your community.
That's right. 2 cents of every gallon of gas goes to organizations to educate our youth, support families, and raise awareness for important causes.
Team You Stop.
You Stop at You Stop.
In Kansas, you'll find as many experiences as stars in the sky. A fresh landscape dotted with destinations for everyone, no matter what you're looking for. From riveting new adventures to reliving the past, you'll find a wide open world of possibilities. Find your new favorite view exploring a wondrous state. Take a stellar trip to the stars.
Online security is, like, as a mom, one of the very highest priorities. There's so many things that we have to watch out for. With Spectrum, I don't have to worry about it. I know when my kids are on their devices, they are protected because I'm not always sitting right next to them. The reliability, the connectivity, the security, everything is kind of all in one. That absolutely makes it worth it to me.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Dave's Heating and Air is Lincoln's local family-owned heating and air business. The Dave's family is Lincoln's professionals you can trust. Whether you need service, repairs, or a new system, Dave's is here for you. Dave's wants your home to feel comfortable and cozy. Get the peace of mind guarantee and call Dave's today for your HVAC needs. Just call Dave's.com.
Dave's Heating and Air, professional service you can trust.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Slowly but surely seeing some precipitation totals that are helping. We need to get more. I know it's kind of a bummer that this is during the holiday weekend, extended weekend, but you know, we'll take it. I mean, it's been so dry around here, and this certainly a helpful amount. A half an inch, even a little bit more, up to probably a little over an inch in some spots just south of Broken Bow, like over towards Dawson and even into Sherman County, Valley, Greeley, and Howard counties just north of Grand Island. So it's a holiday weekend, I know, but we'll take it. South 27th and Yankee Hill Road, looking at Honda of Lincoln Cam. It's been a gray day, but temperature-wise doing okay. 68 degrees in Lincoln, 66 in Beatrice. Much cooler as you go further west. Chadron and Scottsbluff only at 53 degrees. So that's better. It just, that wind has kind of had a bite to it, especially in the morning. It just hasn't been the warmest feel of a day. Dew point, it's tolerable, but the wind hasn't, it's just been kind of a pesky wind. It's out of the east at 5, 10, 15, 20, gusting to around 30 miles per hour at times. So cloud cover hanging on, a peak of sunshine every now and then. Look at this little area between Omaha, Lincoln, and Nebraska City of a little bit of cloud cover, but most of the state seeing plenty of clouds and then some light rain just off to the west. This is the next rainfall potential that will slide east as we head through Sunday night into Monday. So scattered showers. Severe threat is way down here. It's almost too cold for severe weather. It can happen when it's cold, but this is not the right setup for that. So light rain moves from west to east, starts to move into south central and eventually southeast Nebraska by the second half of Monday morning. So I think the first half of the day, if you slice Nebraska in half, and the right hand side here will likely be dry for a good portion of the morning, but then the light rain starts to move in. So eastern Nebraska sees the light rain by late Monday morning, and then another wave coming out of the panhandles. And then I think scattered showers for a good portion of the state Monday afternoon and into the evening hours. We won't see rain all the time, but some light rain here, maybe a rumble of thunder every now and then. Just doesn't look like that kind of a setup. Scattered showers continue as we head through late Monday night into Tuesday morning. And it just kind of lingers into the first half of the day on Tuesday. So how much rain are we talking through from now until very early Tuesday morning? Not a whole lot. I mean, we're looking at maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch for a good portion of the state, but some spots may see half an inch to maybe an inch, and then off to the north and west as well. So most of us about 1/4 of an inch, but we could see some higher amounts in some spots. Temperatures tonight pretty close to 50. Highs tomorrow, upper 50s, lower 60s. East wind at 10 to 25 miles per hour. So another breezy, cool kind of day. It feels like April, early April almost. So rain possible on Monday, 63 with early morning rain on Tuesday. Then, of course, as we all head back to work, it turns into a nice day. Wednesday's looking pretty nice. Thursday, we might see a scattered shower, maybe a rumble of thunder. But again, it's just not the right setup for thunderstorms, which if we can avoid severe weather, that's fantastic. And then June starts next Sunday, and another chance for storms as we head into next week. And temperatures eventually getting warm into the upper 80s. But the next 2 or 3 days, a little on the chilly side.
I know. I've been having to bring my jacket along with me. I have to carry my umbrella everywhere because you never know when it's going to start raining anymore.
It doesn't feel like late May. This is April.
Hey, we'll take the rain.
Yep.
We'll take what we can get.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Rusty. Coming up